Okay, so we spoke last week. We were happy. Today we're not.
No, it was not the best performance we're going to have this year, I don't think. We changed the formation around a bit, and we debated that to a degree at this early stage after the game about whether we were right to switch back from 4-4-2 to 4-5-1. We just felt today that if we could keep it tight for 50-55 minutes, maybe an hour, then we could make a change late on, get some pace into into the side, and switch back to 4-4-2. And if we'd held them and kept them tight for that period, then we could frustrate them. And by and large, we did that first half, but we actually conceded in the 47th minute.
Yeah, it was a killer, wasn't it? Because
I was
down the other end. I didn't see it very well, but I was just praying we'd go in at half-time 0-0.
Yeah, and I think if we had it done, I really think we'd have had chances. But, you've got to have a plan B. You've got to make sure that things go well. And to concede that goal at that stage was really,
What was your analysis of the goal? Because it looked from where I was standing like just a good bit of skill from the striker.
Their forward was, from the side, he looked like a monster, and he's good, very strong. Turned defenders couldn't budge him, and he looked like a monster on the pitch. I went up and chatted to him afterwards and congratulated him, and he wasn't actually a lot bigger than me. He was powerfully built, but he was just really very strong in the box, and could hold players off and turn and get his shot off, which is exactly what he did for the goal.
So you've signed him for Lewes FC?
I would like to sign him for Lewes FC, but I don't think we can compete money-wise with Farnborough at the moment. Although I think they've got probably worse money problems than we have, but they still seem to be spending money. But that's.
We've got a nicer ground, though. We've got lovely.
I think this could be a lovely ground, but where we are is
when it's built.
No, he's a good player, the forward who got the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, we were a bit incensed that the referee signalled a minute's extra play, and he actually scored. Goffey had his stopwatch on, and he scored 1 minute and 46 seconds into injury time, so he played an extra 46. Now you can't keep homing in on those sorts of things because the referee didn't score the goal, they did, but it was just disappointing to concede at that stage.
Second half, very early in the half, you made 2 substitutions, took Gradwell and who else did you take off?
Jamie Crellin, Crellin was unlucky because Krell's played very well. He did exactly what we asked him to do, and he battled very hard. But we had to make a change. There was no point in keeping it tight and saying we'll settle for 1-0. We had to try to get to get something going forward, which we did. Rob Gradwell had worked very hard under very difficult circumstances on his own, and we just felt that fresh legs with Becky and a bit of pace with Tom Murphy, that we had to make that change because we had to have a go at them. But
we never seemed to quite create chances. We sort of created half chances.
No, that's right, and again, that's having that presence. But one of the things we haven't done well enough, and we've talked about, we've got to work it in training next week, is we haven't got it wide early. I mean, we last year when we did play well, we played well because we got our wingers involved and got a lot going wide, and we seem to play a lot down central channels at the moment, which is not what we've asked players to do. You've got to do that occasionally, but why would we be doing that when we've got Gradders up there on his own with 2 big centre backs against him, and we're not getting wide early enough. In fairness,
Hamilton was very good first half.
Lewes did very well out of position, we missed Wheeler a little bit today, hoping he'll be fit for next week. He certainly couldn't have been involved today.
What about Lewes side? Will he be back next week?
Lewes hopefully will be back next week as well. And we need to have a real go next week. you know, Thurrock are beatable. They'll come down thinking it's a game they can win. We certainly think it's a game that we can win, particularly with home advantage. I mean, we'd fancy our chances up there as well. And it's a game that, in theory, either team could win. We think we can do that game, and you know, but in some ways we're going to sit down and have a chat on the coach on the way back, myself and Jason, and you know, we don't just look at how the players have played. We look at, you know, what we've done, and you know, maybe we've made a mistake by moving from 4-4-2 today. We need to sit down and talk about that. So you know, we're all in this together.
Of course we are. I thought the fans were fantastic today. They kept on singing. Very good support.
Our supporters have been tremendous this year. You know, I just wish we were given a bit more to shout about on the pitch. You know,
well, we had a good shout last week, and everyone will be up for the cup at the Pan. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There will be full support, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, I hope so, and I hope we can give them something to cheer, because they deserve it.
Sure. Thanks very much, Ibba.
Thanks, Patrick.